Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazingly patient co-host, Tamika. How are you doing today, Tamika?
I'm good. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, it indeed. Well, if this is your first time on Realness, welcome. We are happy to have you on this glorious Monday. Do a favor and subscribe. We're just trying to build a community of people that love talking about reality TV. And today we're talking about Love Island USA Season 3, Episode 24, which it was okay. I did enjoy a few moments of this episode, but for the fact that it was 2 hours, I was kind of like, is this done yet? Or is it over? Definitely, I was feeling a big absence with like the players that I would grow into love on the show. What about you? Did you feel the same way?
So I didn't watch it live, as I said I wouldn't. And what I did watch live was Cash and Cinco having their reunion all day yesterday. And so then to watch the episode today, I'm like, yeah, this is not it.
Not it at all. And what's so like, I'm with you because like, you know, we know now that that Cachet was up, like was back on her social media. We saw them do that stage reunion with her and Cinco. I didn't actually watch the whole thing. I forgot to go back and watch that because I started watching all the current stuff that was happening, where they made a plan to meet on her layover. And now it seems like on their layover, she went over to his place for dinner and met, it seems like his dad, Melvin Sr., and has dinner with home-cooked food with the family. And he was tying a do-rag. So did that mean she was sleeping over?
I think she forwent her flight, and she decided to like stay the night.
Because he was getting that do-rag put on. And I'm like, since when has like the do-rag been such a romantic gesture before? We've never seen this on TV at all. Hi, Miss CRM. So, hey, ladies, can y'all talk about the Kasha and Cinco content we got over the weekend instead of last night's episode? Yes, we can. LOL. I watched more of their social media than I did the episode. And that's what I was joking with Tamika yesterday. I was like, man, like all the content outside the video, I'm like, you know, CBS and Paramount Plus are losing to Instagram stories. You're still muted.
They tried. They did try to give us, you know, the content that we wanted. They teased their staged, reunion, and it just seemed like the whole entire thing after that kind of snowballed in our favor. And so I was really happy yesterday. So I was like, I don't really want to watch the episode.
I was definitely satisfied. Also yesterday we see Amy missing Wes, and so she goes to Denver to see Wes. So Amy right now is in Denver, and she's like having dinner with him and his family, and she has like, I don't know if it's a niece or nephew or just like a younger family member like sitting on her lap. He looks like maybe he's about 5 years old, and like she's sitting with him, and then he's like beside them and like just, you know, leaning in and doing some stories. So I'm like, I really think that she found love with Wes, because she's just like, I just couldn't be away from him for this long. I had to come to Denver. And so like she's from LA. So LA loves being from LA.
Right.
And go over to Denver, that's going to be a culture shock. And so if she's willing to do that for Wes after knowing him for like a month, maybe.
Yeah. Even you could see, like, I watched a live from last week with Florida and Giovanni, and Florida is there waiting for Corey to come out the villa. She said whatever he does with Olivia, she don't care. She waiting for him to come out the villa. And Giovanni, we're just waiting to find out, you know, what's he going to do? Is he going to go to Flo? Is he going to go to Sally? At this point, the show is outside the island. It is not on CBS.
They got rid of their show.
Yeah.
They dumped their show.
Yeah, pretty
much. Because these people were filler. They were all filler.
I mean, and then it didn't help when you watch the episode. You're like, none of these couples are in love. Like, I understand Will and Kira have been there from the beginning, but based on this episode, they ain't even making it barely in the villa. Corey and Olivia just seem very fake to me. I'm like it's not there for me. I'm not feeling it. I know there are some people who are in love with them. I don't see it. Yes, there are people, trust me. And then
It's the same people that are probably coming for both of us for the fact that
yeah,
we don't like Will and Kira. They're
yeah,
the same people that think Cash is playing a game.
yeah,
The same people that are happy that Cash was evicted from the villa. They're just
yeah.
people that have no taste.
Yeah, I mean, and I went through a lot of Twitter comments last night while the show was going on, and I only really saw one person who was really happy with, oh, this was a great episode. We got to see everybody's personality. One person tweeted that. It's just I don't know. I was just like, this show is gone downhill really fast and really bad.
Really fast and really bad. I totally agree. Hi, Giselle. Thanks for being here. Hi, Allie. Yeah, the 2 hours, Allie, were actually a waste of time. I did take some notes. Usually I take a lot more notes, but obviously I don't really care that much, and I don't necessarily want to talk about these relationships because there's not really much to talk about, but we do have some content that we can bring up. Hello,
Yes.
Earth Angels. Oh, Earth Angel loves the color, Tamika.
Oh, thank you. It's my favorite color, purple.
It looks good. It's a cute shirt.
Thank you.
Hi, Charlene. That was really good to see them together and meeting his family. I know. It was just so nice. Whether they're just friends or more than friends or not, I'm just so happy to see them together. And like the fact that he invited her, no matter what, to his place, like his house, to his home. Meet his family.
Listen.
Pardon?
Listen. The girl said, I have a 2-hour layover in DC. The man drove from wherever he is in DC or Virginia to the airport just for 2 hours potentially of her stay, like 2 hours with him, not maybe even less. And then they were like, bump it, like we're just gonna spend the rest of the time together. I can't even get somebody to drive up the turnpike for me right about now. So
I'm not gonna lie that I definitely have done that many times for friends that I have that have layovers in Toronto, or even when I was living in Montreal, they'd have layovers and like they can't leave the airport, so I would go to hang out with them at the airport until they had to leave. So I definitely get like because I guess I'm an airport person though as well. I'm comfortable there, so not to downplay of like the fact that he went and did that. Like it's still a big feat, big effort, but I've definitely done it before too. It's like I'm gonna hang out with this person on their layover. They're here for 2 hours. I'll make a point of going to see them.
Well, the only thing is I did see on social media, mostly Twitter, people like, oh, he's not into her. This is not going to work. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just getting friend vibes. I'm like, so y'all are saying friends with benefits are like not a thing? Like this is, but again, I am not shipping them like I did last year because I'm not going to make that mistake. They're 25 years old. Even if it's just they end up friends or they're friends with benefits or they hang out and do whatever. I don't care. I'm here for it until it's over. Until we stop seeing
it. More going on in this friendship, non-friendship, benefits, no benefits, do-rag tying relationship than there are with any of the relationships in the villa.
Exactly. Whatever. Exactly. Meanwhile, I think most of those people are Trina stans, and I'm like, y'all are sitting there shipping Trina with a guy who potentially could be married. Like, I don't understand it. Y'all are sitting there mad because KC did not go for Trina, and that he could have still been in the house, which I am a little bit mad because I think they had good vibes. Like watching the episode when they were doing stuff together, I was like, I don't know why he didn't choose her, like at all. Like it was dumb. But I'm like y'all are shipping these things that are potential and could happen and should have happened. Meanwhile, we have stuff happening, and you getting mad at us for even just admiring. I'm not even shipping yet. I'm just like, yes.
Kidding. I want to watch it. It's
Right.
reality TV.
Exactly.
Really? Unedited. This is what we want from Paramount Plus.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the point that I had about the entire show. I'm not saying these people are supposed to be there together forever. I just want to see, are they hooking up? Do they really like each other? Do they not like each other? How far can they take this? And so then you see someone like Will and Kira who keep pronouncing how strong their relationship is, how close to in love they are, and he won't even call her boyfriend and girlfriend.
That's a red flag in my books. And
Red flag in my book. Red flag in my book, especially after what we went through last season with Jaleb. That's a red flag in my book because I feel like it's his way of getting out of it. That once they come out of the villa, if they're not if they're not official, he can either say, well, we were never official, it was never true, or he could go back to his girlfriend, like you said, his wife or girlfriend or whatever he has back at home, and say, oh, you saw that it was fake, we never called each other boyfriend and girlfriend, we never expressed love, it wasn't real. I don't trust Will.
It's so interesting. In the very beginning of the season, like, I found Bill to be very attractive, very, like, good looking. I wanted him to maybe couple up with Cash because of the dancing element, and they both were dancers, and I thought that they would look very good together. And I remember just like in the beginning, I'm just like, I wasn't feeling the vibe between him and Kira. And remember, people were getting mad at us, being like, saying that we were prejudiced because the fact that Kira was Asian, and that's why we didn't like their relationship and all this stuff. Well, I want to know where that person is now. Because, like, I really don't think that this is a good relationship at all. And we were picking up on something that we just didn't know what it was. But yeah. I think he's getting herself involved in what seems to me on the outside to be maybe a toxic relationship where he gets to say and do whatever he pleases, and she'll always take him back and forgive him. That's what it's looking at like from the outside. I could be completely wrong, but I've seen enough movies like this, Sleeping with the Enemy and all that stuff, that like, this is the enemy. Will's the enemy.
It's toxic at best. It's not real at worst, in my opinion. Like he's faking a relationship with her. I don't think he's into her. So I think it's more of the at worst. I want to believe he's not that toxic, but who knows at this point.
To be honest. Let's see. Continue to say hi to everybody. So we got Allie, what we said. Hi, CJ. All right, Giselle, do we think that Cinco and Cash will remain friends or become boyfriend and girlfriend?
I don't know.
She said at the airport, she's like, can you guys not put any pressure on us?
I don't know.
Which is true. I'm not going to put any pressure on them. I like whatever is happening between them right now. I like them to know each other a little bit more. I like the fact that they both changed whatever plans that they had going on that day to spend time with each other. And I'm just going to be watching this unfold in front of our eyes. This is the best reality TV that I'm seeing. At this point, I don't even care if they become boyfriend and girlfriend. That's or remain friends. I don't care either way. I'm enjoying watching their reunion.
Right. So Melvin Sr., Cinco's dad, tweeted yesterday, I was just wondering, this isn't to rub anyone the wrong way, but I can't help but wonder how or what is Team Cash thinking about them together. I'm just wondering. And so I responded to him. I said, I hope that they can have a clean slate. And hopefully the fact that they are no longer on the show allows them to come to terms with their true feelings, and they both find happiness, be it together or apart. But I'm wishing them all the luck and love in the world. And he said, see, this speaks volumes to me because we're talking about two young adults. They are both learning what it's all about. Whether it works out or not, let them try. So we could see even yesterday he tweeted photos with her, with Cash and him and Cinco. I think he really likes Cash, and I think he'd be here for them having a relationship. But I think he was pressing upon already. This was before Cash had gotten there. What Cash had said is no pressure, and I feel like while I think it's actually a benefit to them, they are no longer in the villa for this relationship, that they're able to probably move past it, which is what I'm saying, a clean slate. Let's move past what happened in the villa. This is real life. There's also going to be other things. Fame. Cash is going to be getting all sorts of newfound benefits to being on the show. She's already over, I think, 200,000 in IG followers. When I looked this morning, he's at 140, and she is at 210 now, and she was at 201 this morning.
Well, that's really
Fame
great.
is going to be there.
They're going to be able to make more money together. So even if it's a business deal for a little bit, and they're two people that are going to be like, hey man, we really like each other. Let's get some money together. We didn't win the 50 grand, but let's get more than that outside of here and do this together. I really like you saying, let's even act.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's easier for them than say what was happening with Justine and Caleb, in that Justine and Caleb were really long distance. He was on the West Coast and she was on the East Coast to start with. And so they had that obstacle other than his girlfriend obstacle. But him being in DC and Cash being in New York, it really is literally like an hour plane ride or like a couple hours by train. So they can frequently figure out their relationship rather than it being an obstacle in their way. And as I said, they're off the show, so they don't have the confines of what the show wants them to do and how it should look, and the other factor, Trina, in the villa to mess things up. So whatever they do, I am here for. Whether it be business deal for a while or a long-term relationship, I'm here for any of it.
Give me the business deal, because CBS messed up. I want them to make 10 times what they would have made from CBS.
I agree.
Giselle says that they feel that they will remain friends. I think they'll remain friends no matter what.
Yeah, I think they were. Cash is Cash. Cash is still friends with people that, in my opinion, did her wrong in the villa. The way she left Charlie, Trina, she is still really good friends with these people. She's going to be friends with Cinco no matter what happens.
Earth Angel says, I did the same to Tamika. I watched Cache and Cinco. His family loves her. Yes, absolutely. We love them together as well. No pressure, but we love it. Keep more content coming. CJ says, I said it last week that the producers would save Jeremy and Charlie. They can as well give them the money and wrap the season up. I don't think that either of them. I don't think Jeremy's getting that money.
No.
Unless they literally rig the votes, because I don't see him getting any votes.
Right now, I think it's between Trina and Andre and Corey and Olivia, with Corey and Olivia edging them out.
But I still think Kira and Will take out either of them.
Well, based on that poll, that IG place that I sent you the last time with the poll, that were saying which couple came in the favorites, they did another poll. Corey and Olivia on that poll is leading by a lot. But again, I told you, I think that's more of a middle America poll, right? So I think that's the middle America vote. And I know on Twitter, a lot of people are going for Trina and Andre, basically because they feel like Will and Kira are scammers, and so are Corey and Olivia, and Trina's black.
Hi, Underground. Thanks for joining us. I'm boycotting the live episode as well. So are we. Just post when we need to vote. LOL. I'm here for your live, not the show. Yes, thanks for joining us live. You know, we're only here for you guys as well because like we are not feeling the show anymore. It wasn't that interesting. Obviously, like I said, I took some notes, but like I'm more so like, oh, like have they posted today? Like,
He posted a response to Florida. Oh wait, he posted something else. He's in the gym. But they didn't post together, so I don't know if she finally went home or what. But
CBS better paid for that plane ticket. She should have better not have taken it out of her pocket.
right.
This is boring without cash, Giselle. Well, they just keep on taking away all the interesting people. We might talk about this later again, or maybe not. But there was a point near the end of this episode where they were just showing clips of like all the past house guests and like Amy and Wes, and like it was just like a montage of different things that have happened. And I'm like, oh, all the people that are gone. That was so fun. The show was so interesting. I was like watching all this montage, and I'm like, wow, like those people are great. Oh, none of them are on the show anymore. And it goes back to the show, and it's just like dum.
Yeah, it was the rewatch on Paramount Plus. I'm like, for what? To see how badly y'all screwed this up? Y'all screwed the pooch.
Screwed it. Hi, J-Ro. Ash looks exhausted of being on film. To be honest, perhaps the producers set that up for her to exit. They set up for her to exit, but she would have stayed and won that money if they let her. Because as we said yesterday, all they needed to do was their normal format by having the new people pick first. And they didn't completely follow through with that. They let Casey pick. They let Will pick. And then they let Corey pick. And they should have let Andre pick at that point. Andre would have picked Olivia. And then Jeremy would have picked Bailey. And Corey would have been free to pick Cash. Unfortunately, that would have left Trina to go home, but Cash would have stayed in the villa. They didn't have to let and Andre would be with somebody that he was interested in getting to know. He wasn't really interested in getting to know Trina, but maybe he just knew her more than Cash or thought that Cash was going to be picked by Charlie.
I think it sounds like based on this episode that everybody thought Charlie was going to actually pick Cash. Even Alana. Yeah, even Alana. So there's that.
I want Cash to go together. We do too, but we're just not going to put any pressure on them.
No pressure.
Why Cash isn't posting much? I mean, she's probably overwhelmed. She might still be traveling. She might be with Cinco still, but she might be traveling home, visiting family and such, and figuring out what to do. Maybe cleaning up her IG and seeing like what's, she's probably just reassimilating. She's only been gone or back for 2 days.
Let's see. He just started posting like sometime this afternoon. He didn't post this morning. So let's say she spent the night and then she went home. Like she still has to like go home, unpack, decompress, because she said she was going to go live this morning with Giovanni. So, but I don't think the plan was for her to spend the night. So yeah.
I'm going to go to New York just so I can go and meet her.
Yeah.
Trina's finally coming out of her shell. Yes. This was Trina's coming out party of this episode, starting with Trina being like, she is done being nice. She is not going to be nice to Charlie. I was like, give me that energy. She's like, Charlie makes me, oh no, I said this, but I said Charlie makes me sick. Sorry, that was me. Alana stopped making him feel better, because right after that we see Charlie like crying and having a conversation with Alana, and like she's like making him feel better, and I think it's to make herself feel better because she didn't think that she was going to be picked, and he's crying over this, and like she doesn't really understand probably why he chose her when he's crying over this girl that he's gotten to know for a lot longer. Like make me understand it too, please, Charlie.
Yeah, I don't know. Charlie is a weirdo. He's a weirdo. Everything he talked about Cash doing to him and how it ruined their relationship, and I'm like, so where's the difference in what you're doing this episode?
Like, it's a trend. it's a trend, and like I'm noticing this trend, and like I don't want this type of trend to be going on in my real relationships. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you keep on saying trend,
Right.
like you knew what was happening, babe. He knew what was going on in the villa, so it's not a trend. It's a unique situation.
He talked about Cash about 2 days of his new relationship with Alana. Like, he sat there and got mad at Cash talking about to him Cinco, and he did the same exact thing to everybody and their mother when Cash left. And I'm just like laughing at it because I'm like, this is probably the most laughable situation I've ever heard of. How could somebody be just so hypocritical and like really be like trying to think that he's in the right in some way? But my whole thing is, it comes down to it, he never liked Cash. That's basically all I've gotten from it, because he keeps saying, the way he keeps saying it is like, oh, the relationship was dead, the relationship was finished. When? Because you didn't even do anything, like nothing. And at least here with Alana, you tried, and then you like built up the wall. You didn't even do that with Cash.
Mm-hmm. Well, when they came back to the main villa.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you, Earth Angel. Trina had way more chemistry with the new guy. Wow, what's going on? I definitely felt that she was being flirty. She was being open. This was like the energy that like I've been missing from Trina, because we were liking Trina in the very beginning when she was giving a little bit of attitude to Jeremy that I was like, you might be acting a certain way a little bit in the very beginning. But I definitely felt that she had more personality beforehand, and then she just like things just switched. So I love this version of Trina this episode. I thought that it was very likable, and it really helped me get over my irritations with her a couple weeks ago.
I agree. I'm in love with Trina so much more as a person, and I could even handle her. I was like, Trina's trying really hard. I'm so proud of how far she's come, because she was trying really hard not to be overtly sexual in a lot of places, but you could tell that she really kind of does vibe with Andre, that she can't even help it. I think that's how you know she like actually likes somebody, because she does that. And then it's like, so you know, if she's not doing, and she even said it to Olivia, she's like, no, when I like somebody, like that's what I do, and when she's like not in it, that's when she doesn't do it. So I mean, that's basically what we saw with her, not with her and Jeremy, but with her and Cinco. She was very overtly sexual to get to him.
Jeremy, remember, like it was like she whatever gave him a blowy or something like that, and then he broke up with her. So it could be because she wasn't actually interested in him, right?
Yeah. And then, well, I Jeremy also has an MO. You just see everybody's MOs coming out this episode. You saw it with Jeremy, because Bailey was still getting those question marks, like, does this guy like me? Does it? The same thing Amy went through, the same thing Trina went through. And with Trina, she's very sexual to Andre, and and she's trying to figure out how to temper that, because she feels like he friend zoned her a little bit. And then with Charlie, you see he keeps building up this wall. First he's like, I can't wait to be with you, and then it's like the wall comes up. So it's like, these are these people's MOs. They can't change it. They don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that either Jeremy or Charlie are looking to get into a relationship
At all.
Like, no. I just don't think so. I think they just want to be on the show.
I said that too. I think I wrote that down because somebody said that to him. Trina, when Trina sat down at the breakfast bar, she said to Charlie, but what is it that you want? She's like, I can't get a read on you. She's like, you're here to find love, right? And I was like, is he here to find love? Because based on his actions for the last few weeks, I don't think he is, because it was like even pointed when she said that, and she was saying all the things he's done to this point, and it's like, you're here to find love, so you would want to stop doing that. And it's like, but is he here to find love? I don't think so.
No, he's not here at all. He's here to stay as long as he can. Stay as long as he can. Like, I wish that if he was smart, though, he would have stayed with Cash. But I think he would be afraid that she would question him too much and be like, "No, open up," and like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to get in a relationship.
Based on the Laid Bear episode where she was, she's like, "Oh, love is a fairy tale, and I manifested you, and we could be like this big fairy tale relationship." I don't think he wanted that. I don't think he wanted to do that to her, and especially knowing that she was still had really big feelings for Cinco. So my whole thing is, I know everybody's going to keep saying this was all Cash's fault. If Charlie had said to her, this early days, I don't see us progressing, I'm not going to fight for you between me and Cinco, she would have went with Cinco. So I think people are not understanding that that's all we're asking Charlie to have given her. Giving her that option to say, don't fight her. You weren't fighting for her. You were fighting her because she wanted some other guy. And you knew that was the situation coming in. I think if he had just said to her, I don't know if we're ever going to get there, because I don't know if what you want is what I want in the future.
He went mute. He stopped.
He went mute. Exactly.
Anything.
I think she would have went back to Cinco, and I actually think they both would have been fine.
He's stupid. He's actually like not smart. I can't stand him.
He can't be. He can't be. He cannot be smart. I don't believe he is.
So Andre and Trina, they do address him clapping, and like Andre's growing on me in the sense that he's like, oh man, like it was just like, I can't believe I did that. Like I was just happy for him making a decision. Like and so she's like, next time I'll give you a little nudge. And I thought it was cute. They had a little bit of a banter. They seem like a nice friendship is starting. So I did like seeing them interact for the first time here. Yeah. Bailey and Jeremy, I wrote down, okay, she's just giggling. There's nothing really going on here. There's just like a little smiley conversation. Boring. Ellie and Casey, and he asked him, was your decision hard? And he's like, yes, I mean, no. And I'm wondering why he's reading the situation so badly. Like Ellie's not really giving off that she's into him much at all.
I thought it was me, because I was like, yeah, she sat down with him and I was like, yo, she don't like him
at all.
She didn't like him from jump. So I'm like, dude, why did you not choose Trina? Trina and him had like infinitely more vibes than him and Ellie. And I was so confused.
Girl, you know the story, Tamika.
Yeah, it was dumb. Like, he's another not smart one. Like he obviously could not read the situation, like, at all, because I was the minute after they coupled up and they sat down on the couch, I was like, wow, she really does not want to be with him. And they even were talking about the sexual chemistry, and I was like, I barely see their sexual chemistry.
I don't really see that, but maybe when she says that, she means like she thinks he's hot and attractive.
I was saying, yeah, I was just the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, it is bizarre that he can't see that she's not that into him, like, at all. Hi, Brandy. So Corey and Olivia seem forced. Yep. And sexually frustrated. That's it. I don't even know if they're really that sexually frustrated, like, with each other. Like, I don't feel it. Like,
I can't even imagine a hideaway with them right now. Like, I'm just so scared that that's what they're going to give us, and I don't want it. I don't want it.
On Paramount Plus, you're getting the long version of it, like the whole thing. You're gonna see the handprint on the wall with Olivia.
I'm like, please send Jeremy and Bailey into the hideaway.
No, I don't. I remember you were saying that people have speculated that Jeremy is the virgin, so I don't know if they would be in that situation. Okay, I want everybody to vote Trina to win. Yeah, I'll vote for Trina to win. I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it. I'm like, she's a nurse. She pay off some student loans. She go about her business. Andre will have the money for his mom, for his daughter. I'm fine with it. I really am. I'm annoyed because the Trina stands are still annoying, but I'm actually fine with giving her the money. She's not going to end up with a man out of this at this point, so I'm fine with giving her the money.
Yeah, Charlene, we don't like these couples either. There's not one that we're really riding for. Nobody. Hi, Sans. Hi, guys. I came for you. Fill me in. I'm no longer watching. We haven't gotten anywhere. All that we've talked about so far is Trina's done being nice. Charlie makes me sick, and Alana keeps on making him feel better about his decision. He's kind of crying. It's annoying. Andre and Trina discussed the fact that he was clapping when Cash was dumped and nobody else was clapping. And Bailey and Jerry had a conversation. She was just giggling. Ellie and Casey talk a bit, but there's no chemistry or vibe between them. And then now you're caught up to where we're at. We see Corey and Olivia and just like, oh my God, finally we can cuddle. And like, and then this was the only kind of cute moment, I guess, or like character building moment where she's like, oh my God, don't look at my toes. Don't look at my toes. Like, I want you to still be interested in me. You can't look at my feet. I thought it was kind of funny. I'm sure her feet are fine, but like, it was just a little bit of like a real life kind of moment. It wasn't completely contrived. So I actually liked that, even though like, who cares about your toes? But it did show a bit about her personality a bit. I was talking about your hair, Tamika, or her hair.
Thank you.
Okay, since Cash left, I realized Charlie has started talking more and coming out of his shell. He's so fake. Fake as F. F-A-F. Hi. Okay, Trina was the only reason reason I watched last episode. I think I might just watch for your reviews because don't think I can watch anymore. Yeah, that's it. They've ruined it.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad episode.
Latoya, it was just beautiful to see. It was way more interesting than anything that happened in the episode. Her going to meet his family. Like, you don't do that for just anybody, regardless of whether you're going to be in a relationship with them. Like, you don't say, hey, come over for dinner with my family. It's just not, you don't say that with everybody. Hi, Miss CRM. So Tamika's hair color is pretty, my fellow Taurus.
Team Taurus.
Another one of you. Any Aquarius there for me? That post of them seemed genuine and better than the couples left, no matter if friends or more than friends. 100%.
That's what I believe.
Whatever comes out of Cache and Cinco, amazing bond. Absolutely. Relationship or friendship, I'm here for it. I'm invested. Earth Angel is in. Earth Angel is invested. We're holding back because we don't want to get heartbroken. And I'm watching Giovanni cuss Cash out on live today. Wait, it hasn't happened yet, right?
Yeah, it hasn't happened. That's what I'm saying. She was supposed to get on a live with Giovanni so he could cuss her out.
She's what I could do if I could like record it and watch it at the same time live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, watch it on StreamYard, like watch Instagram, and then we could talk about it.
Yeah.
So depending on what time it happens, if it happens today, I will try to make a quick stream and pull it up and we'll watch it live together. We'll see if I can do that. That's fun.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see what happen. It depends on what it's
Yeah.
Okay, so from the clip I saw, Charlie is still there. Yes, yeah, he's still there. He's still there. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys have been talking. Sorry, I'm like way behind. Hi, Behe. Okay, how come nobody tried to see Charlie's side of the view just a little bit in general? I feel like Trina said it best. It's hard to read Charlie. We don't know if he's genuine or not genuine, hard to read. Well, that's the problem. We can't see his side of the story because he's giving us nothing. So all we could do is speculate on what he has given us. And that's him saying that he was willing to fight for cash. And then when we got to the villa, he decided to go mute. And so that's all we can really judge him on is the fact that he didn't follow through. And then when he decides to pipe up and say a full sentence, he chooses to dump Cash and go along with Alana and surprised everybody in the villa, including Alana. So Charlie's side of the story is that he didn't like Cash that much, not enough to even tell her beforehand that he wasn't choosing her.
It's not us though. Like, I'd be different if people were like in the show were like, oh man, Cash knew he wasn't into her, or Cash knew that she messed up with Charlie, and that she was really in love with Cinco. But the fact that they're still like she needs to be with Cinco, and Trina's like he frigged over Cash, right? Like, because that's what she was saying, that he messed over Cash. Like, she feels that's what he did. And Olivia felt it. They're both like, I don't like Charlie. All the girls are like that he has red flags, including Alana. Alana did not expect to be picked, meaning that he came out of nowhere to pick her. It'd be different if it was like he met Alana and it was like, oh my gosh, I think I found a better person and we don't have that baggage that me and Cash, like he was trying to portray it. But that's not the case. It's not. That everybody's saying it on the show. So like and they know what was going on with Cinco. They would know more because she was going to them talking about Cinco and what she wanted to do. She said in her live with Cinco that the last 3 days before she left the villa, it came down to like she kept saying Cinco's name instead of Charlie's, and the girls were like, you need to just go get Cinco. And they're still mad at Charlie for what he did. So I don't know how else to react. I think Murad said it best. I can only go by what I'm seeing on the show, and I'm only taking clues of what they showed us, edited, unedited, whatever. All the episodes to me lead up to this point that he contributed to the whatever miscommunication that they were having, that she felt that they were stronger than they were, and that he was not as into her, in my opinion, as she was to him.
Yeah. Or that she felt from him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a little moment with Kira and Will, and like, did you like my speech? And I just wrote down cringe. That's all I wrote there. I can't watch them anymore.
Oh, I can't watch them.
No, I remember people were like, "Oh, I can't believe you said that you didn't want to watch them in the Hideaway." It's because I could tell. I didn't know what it was before, but I just didn't want to watch it, and it's because I don't believe it. I think that it's like when he was kissing Flo, I believed it, right? And if I believe it, I don't find it cringe and uncomfortable. Before I was saying like it was fashioned or something, and I couldn't figure it out, but now I'm figuring out is the fact that like it's fake.
Yeah, like I am a sappy person. I'm the sappy, like if you go on my Instagram right now, I am trying really hard not to stand and ship Cash and Cinco. It's really hard for me because I am the sappiest of saps, but this Will and Kira relationship is not sappy. It's scary. It's like it's every time I watch them, I write down ew and ill, and I'm just like something is off, and I think it's Will doesn't like her, like Giselle is saying. That's what it is.
Does not like Kira. Nope. Is it me or Will? Does Will look like he lost weight and a bit of stress? I can't tell because I feel like I don't know the real Will. I feel like he puts on this like facade, this mask, and the only time we really saw a glimpse of him was when he got mad with Shannon. You know what I mean? And we saw some of the real side, and then like somebody saw my real face, and then he goes and cries to Trina about it after to make it like, oh no, like he's the victim again. So
I think he was real this episode though, when he was telling the guys when he was telling the guys and he was telling Olivia he don't want to be boyfriend and girlfriend with her. I think he was very real.
Absolutely. I hope they just don't sugarcoat the Twitter challenge like they did the votes. You know that
they're going to even going to be a Twitter challenge.
Loves Jeremy.
Is it even a Twitter challenge? Like I don't even know, because I'm like, what are they going to say? Well, they'll have stuff to say about Charlie and Alana.
Sorry, I really felt this that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of banter. He was having some one-on-one conversations with Andre. Yeah. I thought that, like, I saw Will's personality, and Andre gave him good advice. He's like, "Don't be scared. Like, you shouldn't fall into a relationship." And I think that shows a little bit of maturity. So Andre, with the fact that he's been in love before enough to want to marry that person and following through and marrying that person and starting a life and a family and a child with them, like he knows a little bit about putting himself out there and being vulnerable. So I was impressed by Andre giving him this advice, because all the guys kind of coddle Will, and like they don't seem to be forcing him to be like, hey, you're kind of leading this girl on. You could have been dating, or just seeing each other for the last 5 weeks. It is about time for you to say that it's your girlfriend. You don't be scared about it. So sorry, I like that conversation. Go back
that's what I was saying. I'm like, the conversations he was having, even just his relationship with Andre is, and I don't know if it's because, Andre's Brazilian and he's Colombian, and so they do have, the same cultural backgrounds and vibes. But just their conversation was way more relaxed. I just feel like you see more of the real Will, and then him being open that while he could fall in love with Kira, he's not trying to be her boyfriend and girlfriend. And I don't understand. It's a red flag to me. I can understand a person like Cinco and Cash not being there yet. They had an interruption in their relationship. I went back and watched. They were together for about a week, for like a full week before Trina interrupted them. And they started moving quicker than we all thought that they would. So if you go from that and you get interrupted in your relationship after a month, no, you might not be ready to call each other boyfriend and girlfriend. You might want to take it slow and see what's there. Will and Kira have been together in the villa 24/7, hugging and kissing, sleeping in the same bed for over a month at this point. And he does not want to call her his girlfriend.
After whatever he did in Casa Amor, and he's not going to come back. He should have come back right away and made him his girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Exactly. To me, that is a red flag, like a huge red flag that he like, to me, if you keep saying you guys are the it couple, you guys have such chemistry, you guys have, everybody can see how much you guys are into each other, but you don't want her to be your girlfriend. You want to wait until y'all you live 15 minutes away from each other. You guys do very similar things, and you don't have the obstacle of long distance. Some of the other things that some of these other couples that have basically jumped into relationships
till the end, like the show ends, he gets the money, and then he's gonna be, all the women are gonna be throwing himself at him.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see him and her lasting past the show at all.
He doesn't want a girlfriend, and so when he comes out of the villa, he can be like, "Oh no, we're not fully together. Like we're just like
we're still dating. I'm dating other people, or it's just for IG. It's just for TV. We're not really together. Nope." Mm-mm.
Exactly, Giselle. He would have asked her, because like he would want to make sure that she knew how much he cared about her, and that nobody else, that she wouldn't have eyes for anybody else, and like lock that in. Exactly. We all see it. Will, you're not sly. Okay, Will at best is faking the relationship. If it is real, it feels like the beginning of an abusive relationship. Check.
Yeah. I hope it's the faking. That's why I said I hope it's the faking. I really do.
I'm a Cache stan. I love that girl. LOL. Her and Cinco. We do too. We are both stans of both her and Cinco. Even though we're just like, they're just both young and not necessarily sure how to maneuver these relationships in the villa. Like it's an abnormal circumstance. So I understand them not being able to do the exact right thing on this show. So I'm giving them a pass, and I'm here to watch them grow. I was hoping Andre, who spoke Spanish to Will, would love to have a Spanish-speaking friend. Well, I was hoping, because he's people in Brazil, they speak Portuguese. A lot of them do speak Spanish, but not necessarily. So it wouldn't be like, oh, do you speak any Spanish? And he's probably like, no, I only speak Brazilian. Do you understand Brazilian? Oh, maybe only a little bit. So
yeah, I think he spoke a little Spanish to him, like right when he got in. but it wasn't a lot, so I'm not sure how much it is that he
Let me
speaks.
see if I can find it. I love that do-rag video.
And everybody, and this is the other thing, while everybody in the villa is not as here for Will and Kira's relationship, they keep saying, I don't know, Will, and I don't know, Will, and, except for Cinco. Um, Everybody's here for Cachet, and like Shannon was retweeting them, Jenny was retweeting them, Leanne was retweeting them, Sally was retweeting them. Everybody is here for their relationship.
Exactly. Exactly. Wait, I know you sent it to me. Did you send it to me on IG?
I sent it to you on WhatsApp, but if you go to my IG, it might still be in my Instagram. The entertainment in color, it might still be in the stories.
Uh, I'm right. Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on. Yeah. We'll show you the do-rag video, guys. It's so cute. If it will pop up, though. She's so cute.
A smile on my face, man.
His dad is speaking the truth. They're both young and they can take their time and just do them. Absolutely. Be famous, young, hot, make that money. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining. Hi, Divine Me. I hope everyone is as happy as I am. Could it be that Cash was missing Cinco so much and they told us the two-thing thing? Anyways, I'm glad that they are now able to work on whatever in privacy. I don't think that well, if that's the case, the producers were like, oh, perfect. We don't have to have her win the show now if she wants to leave and go find Cinco. So yeah. I think they would have made that a storyline, though, if that was the case.
Yeah,
right?
I think they would have played up more that she was missing Cinco and wanted him. Remember, it was more of an afterthought that Alana asked her, and she's like, she even then said she didn't know. She didn't know what she was gonna do.
She would have been wearing the same dress as Trina if
right.
She thought that she was going. If she was decided to go home.
Right.
She was wearing it because she knew that it was either her or Trina that was going to be leaving. So. Right. So
I'm telling you, I think they thought they were going to be standing next to each other for somebody to pick them, and she knew it was a possibility of her going home. She didn't realize it was going to be down to Charlie and Alana.
Yes, we did see that one. I'll see if I can pull that one up as well. Earth Angel. H Guy, how are you? Thanks for joining us. So why is it that it's okay for Cinco and Cachet to possibly fake a relationship, but for Charlie, they're outside of the villa? What are you talking about?
Outside the villa.
A real comment. Like, that makes no sense.
Outside the villa.
You're not on the show anymore. They're not on a show anymore. They're not trying to win the audience vote in the sense that like they want us to believe that they're in a good relationship so they can get to the end to win. It's none of that anymore. They're in real life. And now I'm saying, go fake that relationship and get that money, since they put you off the show because they didn't want to give you that money for anything real. So
Polo, Luke, and Demi, and even though I think they have more of a relationship than Luke and Demi ever had, and get that money if that's what's necessary. But
anyways, H Guy, if you love like the fake relationship with like Will and Kira and Olivia and Corey, like that's the type, and Charlie and whomever, if you like these fake relationships, so we have different tastes on what we would like to see on our screen. I don't want to ship those relationships, but I like Cash and Cinco's friendship enough that I would ship them being in a fake relationship if they're doing it together on purpose, not taking advantage of the other person, and the other person thinks that they're in a real relationship. That's what the problem is. Charlie's not being open, being like, hey, Cash, man, I don't think that we have a relationship going here, but like, I think that we can get to the end together. We can maybe win the money. Do you want to just like stay together and work on it as friends and see what happens? if he did that, we would all be fine. It's the fact that he's lying about it. So, H guy, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, there's no critical thinking whatsoever in that statement, like at all.
Yep.
Okay. Protest for Love Island to move to MTV, LOL, so we can hear cursing and yelling next year. Not this Barney stuff. Absolutely, Shads. Absolutely.
Something got to change.
Hi, Alexandra. So hopefully they don't let the public pressure them on anything. I know they might pressure. We might pressure them, and that's kind of why I'm saying, like, I just want them to like live their life, have a good time, and if they want to make some appearances together and they're not working on their relationship, I'm okay with it because they deserve the money. They deserve to have been staying in the villa and seeing what was happening in their relationship, but the producers didn't want that to happen.
Tell you that right now. Let's get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not worried about why they haven't posted. I think they had a good night last night. Let them enjoy their good night, and we will catch up. Cash is here to stay, so we'll wait for it.
A roach that won't leave the crib.
Oh my God.
We're going. Hi, Chick H. How did Trina go from being the most hated to everyone all of a sudden loving her? I'm confused because she has just stopped being selfish, you know, and like thinking that it's all about her and her relationship with Cinco. She's realizing that she was the person that interfered with Cash and Cinco and their relationship. And even though she's hurt because she does have interest and feelings for Cinco, she was willing to still encourage her friend to go and get Cinco, even though it hurt her. The fact that she offered up the dashiki robe that she was wearing with Cash was like a form of solidarity and a form of like friendship, and it was something special that she wanted to share with somebody. It's her sister that she considers to be a sister. I think that that's beautiful. She says in the article that you sent me, Tamika, that she wants Cash to keep it. She didn't want to lend it, but I think that's a really beautiful moment. That's something from her tribe in Africa, her family, her heritage gave that to her. Something very beautiful and very important for and valuable for their family, and she wants to share that with Cash. So I thought that was also beautiful. The fact that she was willing to stand up to Charlie after Cash is out of the room, because they say that your friends are, the way that they speak to you when you're not there is who your friends are. And that's how they care about you. And she was speaking to her about her in a really kind way when she was off the show. It wasn't her time to be like, oh God, thank God she's gone. Like now, like I'm sick of her. There was nothing like that. She was ready to ride for her and stand by her when she was outside the villa. So these are my reasons why I've come around on Trina.
Yeah, I think Trina has learned a lot of lessons, and we can see the infinite change in Trina on the show. She has definitely evolved. I think she's become a better friend, a better person. And I think, after this, I think she will find her person. They're not on the show, but I feel like because she has gotten to grow in this way, I think she will find her person.
Yeah, I do think so. I think she has grown for sure. Hi, Nicole. Guys, if Corey and Olivia get the hideaway, it can't go one or two. It can go one or two ways, right? We're not going to enjoy it, but what do you mean one or two ways?
Which way here? I don't want to think about this.
What's the other way?
I don't want to know.
What? You know that they're going to go all the way. They were talking about how close they've been getting.
Oh God, please! If they go all the way, I wonder what Florida is going to do. Because, I just don't see them lasting outside the villa. Who here thinks that Corey and Olivia
very different? Like,
if they sleep together, it's because they're, like somebody said, they're sexually frustrated at this point. I can't see.
Maybe they want to make it seem as though that their relationship is deeper than it actually is, and it will help them become more connected for sure. So
right, but I just don't see them lasting outside this thing.
Now, at the nighttime, we see Ellie and Casey making out, and I was kind of like, Ellie, what are you doing? Why are you making out with Casey? And then obviously Corey and Olivia are making out as well. The next morning, Corey's talking about how he's been coupled up with the most girls. He's been coupled up with more girls than Jeremy. That's shocking.
He's been coupled up with Kira, Cash, Trina, Florida. Oh God, who else? Is Isabel? No, sorry. Leslie. Olivia. Am I missing somebody? I feel like I'm missing somebody. I think that might be it. So it's 6. I think he was coupled up with all the OG girls except for Shannon.
Never Amy though, so that's not one.
No, never Amy.
Only Leslie.
Yeah.
Cashmore.
Yeah, and then Cash, and then went to Leslie. Yeah, so 6, and then Jeremy was Trina, Amy, Florita, Jenny, and then Bailey. So one more. He's got one more.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny though. Bailey, like at nighttime, was turned on cuddling up next to Jeremy, but there was smoochy. I'm like,
she said he rubbed her back and that it was sensual. I'm so confused.
He's probably making it like nothing. He's probably like breathing on the back of her neck because he's just like, and she's like, oh my God, like he's so.
I don't know. I feel like Jeremy does this. Because he was making out with her like the next night, and I was just like, I think he just does this. Like he does it, and then he gets scared because then he stops talking to her. I don't know, man.
Maybe he gets scared. Maybe he's the virgin. He gets scared because he doesn't want to go to that level with that person where he'd have to let them know that he's a virgin.
Right.
So he kind of cuts it off before it gets too deep, but he's like on a TV show where it's like adult relationships are happening. And so I don't think that he actually can handle it if he is the virgin, because like he's not allowing that part. Not to saying that everybody has to have sex with him, but like he seems to shut down when things get a little bit more physical, which is a normal progression of any
relationship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The boys are cooking breakfast in the morning, and they say, are you going to say, I love you? And Will hears Olivia say, what? Are you going to say Olivia? And he didn't really hear what he said. And I think that was selective hearing because he does not want to talk about the fact that he does not want to say, I love you. And he's like, that's a big word. That's a big word. I'm like, you are telling big lies there, Will. You don't really like this girl at all. The girls, are talking, and Olivia cannot stand Charlie. I just was like, yes. And they're like, we love you, Alana, but we like, Charlie's not it. And I thought that was funny. Alana, though, then gets a text. It's the Fast and the Furious, and they are going to have to do a little challenge. I didn't really fully watch this challenge, but take notes, for this challenge, but basically they're dressed up as like Playboy bunnies kinda, and the girls were laying on a dolly and the guys were blindfolded and had to push them around this little course.
Obstacle course, yeah.
The girls had to pull out carrots and go through the course the fastest. So Casey was listening to Will more than like he was listening to Ellie, and so they did very terribly. Corey and Olivia were probably the standouts because like he just went super fast. And,
yeah. He was able to get it done super fast, which is why they ended up winning. I also think that he's a little taller than some of the other guys, so I think that helped him his stride, like getting there faster. But yeah, Will and Kira again, they've coupled up since the beginning. They still cannot communicate. And Ellie and Casey were absolutely terrible. I'm like, she literally cannot stand his guts. I just, some of the stuff that Alana says, like, and kind of annoys me. Like, she's like, oh, now that the weight has been lifted off of Charlie's shoulders, like, stop. For real. Like, whatever weight was there was on his that, like, he put on himself. I feel like she keeps kind of, I don't know if she's doing it on purpose or she doesn't realize how she's coming across, but she keeps, like, I feel like throwing shade at Cash to build up Charlie, and I'm it's annoying me, for real. Like, stop it.
I was saying, I was definitely writing down, like, shut up, Alana. Like, okay, we get it. You want to feel valued and validated with the fact that you were chosen and that you are still here. But, like, just don't talk about this relationship anymore. Just listen. Just stop giving the advice, because, like, it's making me not like you as much.
Exactly.
And people were calling her Pebbles on the recoupling, but I think she looks like Jessica Simpson. That's who she looks like to me.
Wait, no, now that you say Pebbles. She did look like Pebbles.
Yes, Corey and Elizabeth, they were super fast. They were the winners in the end. I didn't write down anybody else. They hopped in. I thought
Andre and Trina did really good. Considering that they are a friendship couple, they did really well.
Hi, Ayan, sorry, I'm not wearing glasses, so I didn't see the full name properly. Yes, why are you so pressed? Why? Okay, talking to Charlie is like wanting a sloth to walk faster. I can't with few people sometimes, but it's true. Jerry had the nerve to be mad at being at the bottom. Nah, MC. He has a lot of nerve, but maybe he's like, maybe his father or uncle, whomever it is, really is at CBS, and he's just used to having things handed to him, because, like, it doesn't make any sense. We agree here, Shads. Yes. Will says we don't need titles. Yeah, my boy is going to be gone after the show. Absolutely. So nobody wants to see Corey and Olivia or anyone else in the highway. Just go on with the season already. Absolutely. Just speed up to the end. I don't want the super dates. I just want the Twitter challenge. I want the lie detector. That's it. I don't even want the babies. I think Cash wanted to go home. I feel like she was done. That's why her and Trina dressed that way, because she knew. Well, she knew that was either her or Trina. Now Charlie don't want Alana anymore. Are you guys sure this man's not gay? I'm not sure, to be honest.
Just like, I don't know. I can only go by what we've been given, and he ain't giving me nothing. So he might be, he could be. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
The fact that they did a cheers in her honor shows how much she meant to the whole house. I know. So go to Rental Val in UK. Oh, that's like a while ago. So you've been gone for a while. But bye,
Nessa.
We'll see. Yes, if we're still on. Yes, we probably will be on in 15 minutes. So we'll see you in a second. I feel that way too. I know. Well, no, I know. I don't feel that way. Wait, who is that too? Shads? Oh, no, I don't. I think that she might have known that she was going to, that there's a potential that she was going home, but I don't think that she chose to go home. I don't think that she said, send me home. I think that she was expecting to potentially stay, and it was going to be between her and Trina at the bottom. Right. Being chosen between, I guess it would have always been Charlie. Right?
I think what people are mistaking is, yes, Cash is happy to be home. I think she feels like she did what she had to do and it was her time to go. That's not saying that she excommunicated herself off the island. There's two different things. There's one thing to be happy to be home, to feel like your mission was complete because you left, and there was no power that you could have done anything else to stop that from happening. And then there's a difference between saying, I want to leave. If she had wanted to leave because of Cinco, she could have left with Cinco. She could have left 2 days after Cinco left. She could have left right after Cinco left.
Storyline, because then all this following outside the villa would have been like an extension of the show.
That's what I'm saying.
No way they would be giving up the opportunity to have this storyline being like, go get your man, go get your man, go get your man, and then like have CBS being watching, like showing this whole reunion thing. I think it was, I think as I've said a gazillion times, CBS didn't want another black couple to win, especially a black friendship couple to win. So they orchestrated it so that she would be going home. That's just it. They knew that Charlie was not going to be taking her. They did not know definitively because Charlie's mute and she wasn't sure. So her and Trina thought that probably that Andre would choose Alana because they were new and they'd just be in a friendship couple together. And then Charlie would choose between Trina and Cash or something like that.
Yeah. Because I even thought the same thing. I thought Andre might have chosen Alana. Like, because she seemed to actually like Andre too. So I was a little shocked when he said Trina, but not that much when I saw what the order was, because it was going to come down to Charlie. And I said, and once it came down to Charlie having to pick between Cash and Alana, I knew Cash was going home and it was going to be Alana.
Exactly. Oh no, so like it would have shaken out that Corey would be choosing between Trina and Cash, and Corey would have chosen Cash. That's how it would have shaken out if the producers had done it the way that we were expecting them to.
Right.
I strongly believe that Will and Kira would not progress after the show. Us too. Kira refuses to really express how she truly feels. Also true. She's just obediently agreeing with whatever Will says. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Nope, it is not you.
Nope, it is definitely not you.
100% with you here.
Yeah. Nope. There's what you're saying is facts.
Charlie now realized he was never America's favorite. Did he think he was?
Yes, he did. You didn't watch the Laid Bare. He was sitting there arguing with Cash because Cash was like, no, you were in the top because America loves me. I'm the fan favorite. You're riding my coattails. And he's like, I'm going to say something, but it's going to be mean, so I'm going to hold it. And she's like, say it. And and that's the thing. He wouldn't say it. But if it was Cinco, he would have said it. Like even on their little video thing when he was like the text, and she's like, what did your text say? And she's like, it said that you should have picked me, right? He's like, yeah, it said you should have picked me, see, blah blah blah. And they were going back and forth, and that's what she wanted from Charlie. What she gets from Cinco, that's what she wanted from Charlie. And he didn't know how to do it, but yes, he literally thought that America loved him and that it had nothing to do with Cash.
And you know what? This is why this guy chose Alana.
Yeah.
And this is why he's having buyer's remorse, because he thought that with his 100,000 followers, he was going to be able to get to the end of this game and win with whoever he was with, because he saw that he got kept when he was with Cash. He thought it was himself. And then now he's not with Cash anymore. He's with who he chose now. He made a decision and chose her. And now he's in the bottom three.
Exactly. So that's why I was happy, because I was like, I know he didn't end up going home, but I'm happy because I needed him to understand that nobody liked your ass. We liked Cash. That had nothing to do with you, and like at all.
Great minds. Yes, great minds think alike. We do. Okay, so she was on Twitter and she said that she's going live with Giovanni, and she got an interview with Justine and Sally today. Okay, so yes, I don't know if you were on before when I was mentioning it. If they come live at a time where I can stream it, I will record, watch it live like this, and I'll pull it up the screen and we can watch it together. So we'll try to be done this one by 5, just in case they go live at 5 or after 5. That's when Giovanni's kind of been doing it lately, maybe 5:20. And so we will try to go live and then we can watch it together. Depending on the time though. If it's around 8, I'm gonna be watching The Bachelorette because it's the finale. Gotta watch it.
Oh man, that's gonna be crazy.
Now he wants to say he misses. Yeah, get out of here. You don't get out of here. You're like, damn it. I may have messed this up. Ooh, Olivia is a faker. She chose Charlie to stay in the house. So much for justice for Cash. Wait, who went home though? I think it's because they were all choosing together, right? For that one?
It had to be the couple. If it was single, I could maybe understand. I'm pretty sure they would have dumped Charlie because they liked Ellie better. But because it was a couple, literally, what was Ellie and Casey going to do on the show for the rest of the week?
What they were voting for, because Andre reminded us or reminded them that you're voting for which couple you do not think will work well, and they would not work well for sure.
Yeah.
She had expressed to them that she wasn't into him just previously, so that was fresh in their minds. Charlie said something along the lines that he makes problems where there are none. Mm-hmm. The show set up for him to stay. Yep, him and Jeremy. Hi, JH. Okay, I'm team Cache, but Cache also used Charlie to capture Cinco's attention. Let's keep it real. I don't fully agree with that. Cache's heart was with Charlie. I think that she didn't want to go back by herself when he was always coupled up with Trina at that point. I think you reiterated it yesterday, Tamika, that people are thinking that if she had come back single from Casa Amor, that she could have just jumped and coupled up with Cinco. No, he was still in a relationship or couple with Trina. So if he came back single and Trina came back single, remember, they got back together immediately. So Cash would come back single and be on the outside of the relationship with Trina and Cinco. Like, she wouldn't have still been able to know that he was there for her. And her standing there by herself, it's just not a good look. Like, it's not, you don't look desired. And I'm sorry, like, guys like to the chase and all that stuff. She wouldn't be as desirable if she came back by herself. And I don't think the dynamic would have been good for him. Y'all know Charlie is slow. Can't expect much for him. Yeah, it's true. Charlie's still not getting Cash's vote, so stop saying you miss her. We are not fooled. Yeah, you will not get one of Cash's votes.
No. We already done that. You're still on the show. Be happy that that's at least, you got at least a couple more days before the Islanders vote you off, because I don't see them not voting you off. I'm pretty sure that they're going to keep Jeremy because he keeps coming into the bottom. I don't see them not voting Alana and Charlie off into the final. I'm pretty sure they're going to vote off Alana and Charlie and keep Jeremy and Bailey because they know that nobody seems to like Jeremy. He keeps ending up in the bottom.
So Andre understood the assignment every time. Last week he saved Trina, and last night he wanted Charlie gone. He's playing a good game. I know he came in a little bit too late.
Yeah. Him and Casey, actually. I feel like if Casey, I kind of wish Casey had come in. I feel like I wish Andre had been an OG, and I wish Casey had come in instead of Isaiah.
Ooh, that would have been great. Definitely.
Yeah.
Great.
I think what would have happened is Casey would have captured Trina's attention, or even Andre would have captured Trina's attention, and we wouldn't have had that issue between them, Trina and Cash and Cinco. I think we would have gotten through that, and would have been better couples going into the end.
I agree with you. So Ellie, this is where we learned that Ellie's not attracted to Casey, and they kind of have a talk, and she says that she kind of friend zoned, well, not kind of, she did, she friend zoned him. She's like, I'm getting friend vibes, and he's like, what I'm really attracted to. She's like, yeah, well, there's an attraction, but like, I think it's still, I only see us as friends. I'm just like, ooh. But he's not going to give up on her. Why? Give up.
She also did not understand the assignment. Like, this is why last week when he picked her, I was like, why? And I was like, I don't care about this relationship. I don't feel like she ever, I wasn't even seeing the sexual chemistry. Their date was dry. Like, it was a terrible date. And so then he kept trying. And then unlike a Wes and Amy situation where I feel like that got turned around, like we could see slowly them turning around, this was not ever going to turn around.
No. And like, there's a week left in the show. Like, suck it up and like work on the relationship. Like, it's like,
how dumb of her.
I don't know why she's like breaking up with somebody when there's a week left in the show and nobody else is coming in the villa. Like, that's just like, you're gonna be dumped. Just know that.
And if she had stayed with him and actually tried, I think they would have stayed over Charlie and Alana, because people would have said, no, he's still in love with Cash.
Exactly. So Trina said that she's starting to have a crush on Andre, which I do like this. She's cute. She's cute, and I like that. I like that she's going to go and try and go for it, and she's going to do something different. She's usually done before. She's not going to like shy away, and she's going to try new tactics and see if like, maybe something can come out. So I thought that that was growth, and I like seeing her like kind of excited about like her interactions with somebody. So I'm here for that.
Me too.
I thought it was funny that like Corey was saying that he likes hyper girls. Olivia's not really a hyper girl, so
no. Olivia's not hyper. Florida is hyper. So I was like, okay, I see why he really liked Florida, and I see why he really liked Isabel and Leslie. But I'm not seeing the Olivia. Olivia's not hyper. She was hyper with Cash, but she's not hyper
at all. So yeah, we mentioned a little bit about this conversation with Trina. She's like, I thought that was crocodile tears with Charlie in the kitchen. He says that he's regretting his decision. I think this whole thing is fully for the audience to maybe him be like, oh, he knows that he made a mistake. Let's give him some votes. Nope, we will not be fooled by you 2 times, Charlie. Not us. That's what I wrote. I'm like, I think he's just trying to gain favor from the audience. And I'm just
but that's why I liked how Trina went about it. Trina wasn't mean to him. Trina wasn't nasty to him. She's like, really? She's like, well, what about this? She's like, really? Well, what about that? And she's like, really? But you know that doesn't make any sense, right? Like, she was very matter of fact with him. She went right at him, but she wasn't nasty about it. And like, I loved how that conversation came up, because I feel the same way. I feel like that was purely for audience participation. And she really showed how he makes you. She's like, you know, none of that makes any sense, right? And he's like, and then she went back and told Alana. And I know people are like, oh, she should have stayed out of it. It's not her business. I'm like, it is her business. She and Cash were friends. And that was what people were asking for from the beginning. She and Cash were friends, and she feels like he did her dirty. And so I don't blame her, because I think after the Trina Cinco Cash situation, she's like, I'm never going to allow any of these girls to feel like they got played, and I'm in the middle of them getting played by one of these guys, right? So again, growth. Trina was like, I'm going to put them first, and she went to Alana and told her basically what happened. He's still like looking for Cash, and she's like, oh, well, that's not how he was been acting all day, and that wasn't how he was acting, but that's what he did to Cash too. He was acting like everything was great and perfect, and then he did the same thing. He put up a wall, and I think Alana was going to be prepared to fake it with him until that conversation happened, because it's like, I think at that point she didn't want to look stupid.
Well, before Trina talks to Alana does have a conversation with Charlie, and this is where Charlie, I can't remember if he was crying this time or not, but she was talking about like she's just looking for her person, and I'm like, Alana, do you really think Charlie is your person? Like, I don't see them together at all in that way, and I'm like, I don't see like if you making a dream board, putting up pictures of Charlie as your person, Alana. He does ask her what type of people she's dated, and she says like she's dated a whole rainbow of different people. So like that's good. So potentially he could be her type, but I just don't see them together at all. But they both say that they think that they have good conversation. I'm like, really?
I see it more on, I saw it in the beginning more on his part, that I thought that they could be something, because I thought he was into her, and then the switch is flipped for me. But I've never felt like she was, bless you, I've never felt like she was really into him at any point. So I feel like at this point he's also shown now that he's just not there for a relationship, because I feel like when it started, he was like pulling her and talking to her. I think it felt like that they could move into something, not something past the show, but something on the show. But now I'm just like, nope, I don't feel like he's here for a relationship, because I don't even see him trying with her.
And then with the conversation that they have with the girls after, where Trina kind of mentions her conversation with Charlie, I don't know if it was her or if it was Olivia. Somebody said like, this seems like a bit of a pattern. And so it's interesting though that Charlie talked about trends. I'm noticing trends. Well, Alana, hopefully you're noticing some trends here that like he promises the world to Cash, promises the world to you, and then all of a sudden he gets you now, and then he shuts off. So so far that seems like a pattern, but we'll see if it happens. Well, it won't get a chance to happen again, but we'll see what happens with them. So this is Will and Andre. They have their conversation. He says, don't be afraid. We talked about that a little bit already. Ellie fell out of the shower. And this was the first part of like the episode where it started to get a little bit funny. So not that I want her to get hurt. Absolutely not. I like her. But when she fell out of the shower, like I laughed and like just.
I was dying laughing. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what was that fake? Or like, I couldn't figure out if it was faked for TV because I was like, why does she have earrings on going into the shower?
I mean, she might not have taken them off and maybe there's no ledge there.
I was like, why does she have earrings? I was like, and then she fell out the shower. Like, oh my God.
So I definitely really laughed at that part. So they go to bed. Charlie doesn't cuddle Alana. That's another thing that's quite basic. Why are you not cuddling in bed? Like you don't need to be in love with somebody to just like have a little bit of a spoon or a little bit of like, you know, she lies on your armpit, shoulder area for a little bit and then go to sleep. Like, well, what's so hard about doing that with somebody that you just coupled up with because you're really interested in starting a relationship with them? He stopped cuddling Cash and stopped cuddling her. And I think that he doesn't like to cuddle people at all and like wants a relationship at all. I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm with the I don't think he wants a relationship at all. Maybe he's not a cuddler, which is also kind of what Cash was pointing out. She's like, you know, he doesn't like, she said that he's not firm when he like holds her. And I'm like, maybe he's not a cuddler.
This is the thing. I think that people say that they're not a cuddler when they just don't like being like having that emotional connection, you know? Like I wouldn't say that I'm a naturally cuddly person. I'm not like physical touch is not my love language, but I'm gonna love a good cuddle with somebody that I'm interested in or that like I want to develop a relationship with or that I want to make out with. It's kind of like the people, I don't know if you're one of these people, so hopefully I'm not offending anybody, but that say that they don't like kissing. And I'm like, that's a problem to me. If you don't like kissing, that's a problem to me. That's actually a red flag to me. Because like to me, it says that you don't like intimacy, right? And so that's what I'm worried about with Charlie. He doesn't like intimacy.
For me, kissing is the most intimate thing to me that you can do with a person. But that's my opinion. So I'm not going to go off and kiss everybody.
That's fine. Not going off and kissing everybody. But haven't you met people that's like, oh, I don't kiss. I don't like kissing. And you're just like, ooh.
I haven't, but but yeah, I that would be a red flag for me.
Especially So this is the only saving grace of this episode was the undercover sexy six. That was really fun. They had dares that the women were going to be doing. So Trina chose to get one of the guys to make her a smoothie and then not drink it.
Hilarious.
Bailey had to get a foot massage by one of the guys. Alana had to get one of the guys to slow dance with her. Ellie had to get a guy to act like a cat. Kira had to get someone to style her hair, and Olivia had to get one of the guys to allow her to paint their toes. I died of laughing. Charlie not wanting to act like a cat with Ellie. Like I was howling at that part. That was the only redeeming part of Charlie was his reaction to Ellie wanting him to purr like a cat. She's like, what about the hand? What about the hand?
He's like, Ellie is really weird. And the thing is, when she asked to do that one, and I was like, yeah, I can see her doing that. I can see her. And so when he said it, he's like, the thing was that it seemed like something that Ellie would do. I was like, I agree with him. It did seem like something Ellie would actually do without it being like a whole, scheme. But I was dying laughing at the entire thing when she was doing it with him. Hers was hilarious. Trina's was hella hilarious.
Trina's was so funny too. I was like, Trina, like, get
She
it, like,
was
carry you
good.
over, and you're putting like egg yolk and like cheese strings into the smoothie with a.
He said the cheese they give. He said the cheese gave me bars. It's like that's the only part they gave you. The coffee they gave you. Cheese is the part they gave you bars.
But poor Casey, I mean not poor Casey, but thank you, Casey, for like being a good sport and just like completely going through with it without really
I'm
like.
still mad at him. I'm like, that whole entire thing between them was so cute. He like picked her up and carried her into the kitchen and made this movie, and then picked her up and carried her to the couch and like was sitting there talking. It was absolutely cute. I'm like, I want to like hit you upside the head for not choosing her.
I mean, these guys, they're not smart.
Not smart. Not smart.
So the other ones that happened, so Kira got Corey to braid her hair. That was pretty easy. Did I not write down everybody else's?
Alana was the she got Andre to samba with her or bachata. Yeah, that one was stupid. I was like, yeah, you're not doing a good job on that one. And then Will and Olivia got Will to paint his toenails, and that's when she was asking whether or not he was going to ask Kira to be his girlfriend, and he was like, no. And then was that it? Casey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a foot massage from Jeremy. Whatever.
Yes, that which was easy. So I was like, no, that was that.
I only really wrote down Trina and Ellie because I laughed so hard.
Yeah, those were the two funniest. And that was the one time I actually saw Ellie's personality. Otherwise, the entire week that she's been here, I've not seen nothing from her. Like that was the first time, like I feel like we saw a full out personality of Ellie. Like she's silly, because like even Olivia calls her Ellie Belly. Like so you can tell she probably has like a very silly personality, maybe a little more low key, but she says that she's high key, like more like Cash, and I haven't seen it.
I don't see her the same way that you're seeing her. I see her as kind of like, she seems kind of fun to me and like a girl, kind of how she came across to me. But they probably didn't show her that much because she's kind of irrelevant to any of like the small storylines that they have in there. Mm-hmm. So they won some shaved ice, which I didn't know what it was, but I'm assuming it is a traditional Hawaiian dessert of some sort. I don't know, it had like fruit and shaved ice and like whipped cream and stuff like that. So they got to enjoy that. Then they get a text and Will and Kira are going to go on a date. So I don't really want to talk about that date that much. I didn't understand why they had to go to a maze, and I didn't understand why he was carrying her in the maze and trying to kiss her while he's running around the maze carrying her. I'm like, Will, like, chill with your moments. Like, it's just too much, in my opinion. So they go there. There's a little oasis spot in the middle of the maze, and they sit there and they talk about their relationship. She's like, I'm so happy with you. I'm so happy. I could feel myself falling for you. I'm really falling for you. I'm really falling for you. I can see us having something outside that's really outside of the villa. Me too. And she's just staring at her. You know, she's waiting for him to ask her to be his girlfriend. And he's like, okay, so you want to go back? Like, he doesn't even like entertain it. Like, why doesn't he even say to her, like, listen, like, it means a lot to me to ask to be someone's girlfriend, and I feel like we're almost there, but I just don't want to say it and it not to be the right time, so I'm just giving us some more time. Just say something like that, please, Will, to like make you not think that you're completely playing a game, but he couldn't do that at all.
Meanwhile, back at the villa, all of them are talking about how he's not going to ask her, and that it's absolutely crazy. I was just weirded out by the entire thing.
Yep, and so they come back, and Will and Kira come back together, and he's talking to the boys, and you're just like, oh, we're just so happy, and to the girls, and just like, well, we don't really need to define us with a label. But then they're like, well, if he asked you, would you have said yes? She's like, yeah. Like you're like,
and that to me is a red flag. A red flag. Like, to me, she should be able to say, well, I just want you to know I'm serious about you, and that, I'm fine with us maybe not in this experience. I didn't, putting that notion on our relationship. But once we get out, like within a certain time, we have to decide if this is serious or not. And like, I want to be your girlfriend. Like, what she couldn't even express that to him without feeling like, oh my gosh, if I say that to him, it's gonna make him run away. Like, just the entire conversation was a red flag. Like, flag on the play.
Like, if it were me in that situation for what they had gone through and what I wouldn't be there with him. But like, if I happened to forgive him after the Casa Amor thing and I was in that position with him, and he didn't ask me, I probably would have gotten angry. I think I would
Me
have been
too.
upset.
Me
I think I
too.
would have been like, well, what are we doing here? What's the purpose of this? Because like, I feel like you're my boyfriend. I don't want to see anybody else. I want us to progress more going outside of this villa. Why do you not want to say that to the world that we're working on something together?
Me too, which is why I said that even kind of I felt like that with Cinco and Cash. Like, I understand he was trying to, like, I feel like he was trying not to get his hopes up, and I was kind of feeling like he was trying to downplay it just in case, like, she came out there with Charlie, like, as a couple, right? But I feel like I personally would have wanted him to be like, no, she's what I want, and if she comes out of the villa single, it's her and me, right? And I think that's probably, from what we see in their video, he had already texted her once he watched that video of her coming out. Because, you know, obviously they showed him when it happened before we got to see it. And so I think he was able to send her the text so she knew what he was feeling and what he wanted to do, which I love. So she coming out would get his real time feeling of wanting her, but I still would have wanted that public exploration of, I want you. I want everybody to know that I still want you. Kind of what Florida is doing. Like, I don't care what's going on. I'm going to pursue you when you come out of this thing. And that was, and I understand he didn't want to step on toes, but I just, that's the only thing I needed from Cinco. It is what it is. I hope that they can move past it. But again, I just feel like coming from where we are with Will and Kira, and the fact that he can still not at 30 something days say, you're my girlfriend, I don't think it's kosher. I don't think their relationship is going to last.
No, not at all. I don't know if you heard this, and I think it was Jeremy that said this. It was the one funny line of Jeremy's today. Did you hear it?
No, I didn't.
It was when the guys, like, I think no, all of them were still sitting together right when Kira and Will were coming back, or right before, around that time. And someone said, hey, Andre, if I'm done, don't clap for me, eh? Or something like that. I was like, that's funny.
I did hear a piece of that. I did hear a piece of that.
I think it was me, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
So wait, what did I write that down? Beauty tricks with Will and Andre. Oh yeah, so that's something I was thinking. So Will and Andre, they had a moment where I think Andre gave Will his face stuff, or vice versa. I can't remember who gave what to whom, but they were in like the change room and they were doing some facial routine, and I'm like, I bet you any money that Will is trying to get a segment going with him and Andre, you know what I mean? Like trying to like build something between the two of them so that they outside of the villa, maybe like, oh, the two South American men are going to like do something together. Like, I feel that he thinks that he's attractive and like, oh my God, like we could probably make some money
to
together.
A tag team. To a tag team. Kind of like what Caleb and Carrington were going to do.
Caleb and Carrington, or like in the UK, Kim and Chris, how like they did like tons of different shows after they did an album together. They were on, one of them went on Celebrity UK, but they were supposed to, Celebrity Big Brother UK, they're supposed to both go, but only one ended up going, I think, is what happened. But like they are, as a duo, a friendship duo, like very popular. So I felt that Will having those chats now with him, like, is trying to build a brand between the two of them. You watch.
I can see that.
Anybody having a podcast, it's going to be them too. Sash, he doesn't speak English well enough, I don't think, to have a podcast. But, or maybe in Spanish.
Maybe they'll do it in Spanish. Yeah, maybe they'll do it in Spanish.
So at the nighttime party, we see Ariel looking gorgeous, walking in. We need to talk. Whenever she comes in, you know it's not going to be good news. They talk about who is safe. So safe is Trina and Andre, Kira and Will, and Olivia and Corey. And I just was asking, like, why can't they just dump the bottom couple? Just dump them. Like, we don't need for them to decide who they're saving. Just dump the bottom couple, please.
I don't know.
Just dump the bottom couple. That's all I want. I just want to know who the bottom couple is, and I want them dumped. Like, that's it.
I don't know. And the thing is, I think that just happened in Love Island, UK, where they for once didn't dump the bottom couple. And I was like, yeah, but y'all had that happen to y'all one time. We've had that happen to us the entire season. Like, one time I can see the entire season is rude, absolutely rude to us.
So of course they saved Jeremy and Bailey, and then I'm like, dump these folks, dump them all. So I heard, dump every single one of them. Dump them.
They're not it. It's not it, guys. I
Casey
don't know.
and Ellie Belly were the ones that they decided were the least compatible at this point. And so Charlie and Alana were saved. But they could both have gone, in my opinion. I don't think that we need to see any more of Charlie.
Yeah, I think it was a good decision on the part of the Islanders. That being said, I don't think either of those couples are working at this point, so I don't care about them. And we won't get to vote the next time. As I said on Twitter, the next vote is not going to be our vote. It's going to be the Islanders voting who they think is still compatible based on these, 5 couples now left. I don't see them not taking Jeremy, the OG, with them to the final, especially knowing that he keeps ending up at the bottom. Because I don't think they'll think that Jeremy and Bailey could get anywhere close to it being as strong as they are in the villa. Then again, they could vote out Trina and Andre. We never know.
I mean, no, I think that they like Trina more than they like Alana or Charlie. So I just don't see them keeping them. I don't think so. Not Olivia. I think Olivia would be like, get rid of him.
Yeah.
Trina looked like she was going to faint when they called her first in the America vote. Aww.
It was the first time that she wasn't in the bottom. And I'm glad that Ariel called her first, because I think she was shocked, because she really thought it was probably her gonna go home, because remember, they came into a friendship couple. It wasn't even supposed to be them trying to test anything out. So it was like, America actually likes us together. They think we have chemistry, which I do think they have chemistry.
She's getting all the cash votes now, right?
Yeah, she's getting all the cash votes now. But she also, I will say, I feel like they have more chemistry than.
I'd rather see them than the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Alana doesn't really like Charlie. She wanted Will. I thought it was hilarious when Ellie fell in the shower. Us too. Us too. Charlie used the word infatuated with Alana. Infatuations don't last long. Mm-hmm. Charlie is fine? Really? Sorry, unpopular opinion. I mean, it could be his attitude. I'm not into his attitude. I'm not into his style of grafting. Like, I'm not into his conversation. I'm not into his swag. Like, I'm not, like, does he dance? Like, what does he do? I looked at his Instagram. I'm not into his Instagram. I don't find him attractive at all. I don't think he's ugly, obviously. I know that he's a good-looking man. But, like, to me, when it all puts all of it together, I'm not attracted to that person at all. What about you?
I think he's handsome, but I go by personality. So you can be drop dead gorgeous for me, but if your person not like, I need an aggressive guy. I need, like, there's just some things. I need a funny guy. Like,
funny so badly. Like,
yeah.
You could be almost unattractive, and if you're funny, if you could make me
I
laugh,
will go for you. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. So to me, like, that makes you less attractive to me. So you're not going to get a fine. That is why I've always been riding the Cinco train. The man is fine. The man is funny. he has a good personality. We stopped seeing the personality when he was with Trina.
Yeah, no, I'm way more into Cinco than I am into Charlie. Cinco is just like the type of guy that he's just so cool and smooth and like sexy and like, you know, when I don't know, I'm just way more interested in Cinco. He's got more respect for me. Will is leaving the door open for Flo, probably.
I'm sure he's leaving the door open, but I doubt Flo is going to entertain him. She's pissed. She is pissed.
All the other women that are going to be like, they don't care about what happened with him and Trina. They're just going to be all over him. Hi, JC. So Flo doesn't want Will. Well, she didn't. She shouldn't want Will because on Twitter she was upset that Will put everything that happened on Casamore all on her. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We talked about that. I still haven't seen her yet. I don't think on After the Island. Have you? Yes. Oh no, but after she was pissed, so we haven't seen her come do a live.
No. No, I don't think she has, but she and Giovanni went skydiving, but yeah, she was not happy with Will. That's what I'm saying.
Everything that Giovanni's doing outside the villa with all these islanders, like he's keeping the family together. He's like he's doing the work. He's the producer of the show.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he said he really liked Flo. They live in Miami. But some other Casa Amor guys like Flo as well. And him and Cinco were supposed to come to LA to see Justine and Sally. So I'm trying to see what happens with that. But I don't know with Cash coming out if that's going to still happen. And then Leanne is in LA with Sally and Justine. Last night they went out and got drunk because Justine is in bed still. But that's what happened online. The show is online, guys. The show is listen, give me a show with Sally, Justine, Giovanni, Cash, Cinco, Wes, Amy. Like, I would watch that show.
I want to cut together all of their lives, you know what I mean? And like and just put it in one video of like everything that they've been doing. That's so fun. Yeah. If it's not difficult, I might give that a try. So Giselle says Trina Cummins came a long way. Absolutely. And I think that's a great way to end this stream. She has come a long way. We went from liking her to being frustrated with her to maybe even disliking her. And now we're back around to standing her and wanting her to win the money. So that's definitely a full circle, which I think means that she's had growth and we grown alongside her. So it's nice to see that even us who had very specific opinions about people can be changed by people's actions. So I think that's a great lesson to leave it on. Do you have anything else to share from this episode or from anybody's lives that we haven't talked about today?
I did mention that Shannon was like retweeting Cash's thing and that she couldn't wait to see her and Cinco outside the villa. They're in Massachusetts. I don't know if you saw the article that Josh and Shannon had came on his Instagram and gave a thank you message, and they're going through the funeral and all that stuff. But other than that, I don't think anything else has happened that we haven't talked about. But yeah, I follow Cache Proudfoot on all social media platforms. Turn on the notifications and let's watch the show together, because that's where it's at for me.
It is. I keep looking for content from Cinco and Cache. I know, us too. We love them as well. This is sad that there was great potential couples, but they're all gone. Absolutely. Absolutely. Unless voting, they have America doing. Useless voting, they have America doing. Absolutely. Yeah. It is useless. It's really annoying. It's very frustrating to know that like we're taking our time to do these votes. And you're not even listening to what we want. They're just deciding what we want. And that's a different show.
I don't know how they're going to do this 100K because, like, are they going to even take our votes or are they just going to do whatever they want to? I know there's always, like, a clause usually that they can give it to whoever they want to. If Jeremy wins the money, then we know that we know it was rigged. If Jeremy wins the money, then we know it was rigged.
I think if Jeremy wins the money, they could have people not watching the show ever again.
Yeah.
That would be a really big problem. The last ones we're trying to get out of the villa and you're going to let him win the money. There's not one person that I've heard of that's ever said they wanted Jeremy to win.
No.
Nobody. Like they want Will and Kira to win, which I don't understand, but they've never said that they wanted Jeremy to win.
No.
Thank you, CJ. Thanks everybody here in the chat room. We love talking to you guys. This was what makes it fun for us. Even though we hate the show now, we don't really want to watch. We watch because we want to talk about how much we don't like it with you guys. So thank you for showing up and being here and making us have meaning. And Tamika, as usual, what do you have going on that you can share with people?
So you can follow me at Entertainment in Color. If you missed any of like content from Cinco and Cash, I'm trying to post it there. And come discuss with me. You can DM me there, and I'll be putting out more information as it comes along of more scripted shows, not necessarily just all reality entertainment, but scripted shows as well. One of my favorite scripted shows that we just that just had a season end is It's with Queen Latifah, and it's hold on, I can tell you really quick. The Equalizer. The Equalizer. And if you have not watched season 1 of The Equalizer, catch up on that. Season 2 is October. And I cannot wait for that to come back. She did a really good job with the reboot
what
of The
I'm
Equalizer.
looking forward to is I think it's called The Queens.
The Queens, yes. Oh my gosh, with Brandy. And yes, I cannot wait for that scripted show as well. That's going to be on ABC.
I wouldn't mind maybe covering that or doing a watch party or something like that, because it looks like it would be kind of fun to watch. I just watched the entire thing of the Encore this weekend, which was pretty fun. I don't know if you've seen
that. Was it good? Everybody keeps talking about it. Okay.
I enjoyed it. I just watched all 9 episodes all the way through. So I'm caught up now. I definitely enjoyed it. Thank you, Earth Angel. We love everybody here. Absolutely. You guys are the best people in chat rooms ever. We come live just for you. But if you haven't done so already, just do us a favor. It's a big favor, but it's not that big. Just subscribe down right over there. We're just trying to build a community of people that love talking about Love Island, just like we do. If you're seeing this after the live broadcast, please leave a comment. Do you think that the producers are going to give the money to Jeremy, or do you think it won't be rightful, but do you think it'll be someone else? Do you think it will be Will and Kira? Who do you think is going to win this money? I would like to hear your thoughts and opinions here. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat. If I didn't get your comment, you know that we love reading all of them, but we sometimes just don't have time to go through them all. But thank you so much for joining us. We love you guys. Until tomorrow, 3 p.m. This is our last week together, so let's make it count.